let's switch screens here. We're about to bring Brian Robillard on. Let me see if I remember how to do this. He should be one click away here. 2 clicks. Hey there, Brian. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you. I'm really glad you're on tonight.
Me too. Thanks for having me.
Cool. Go ahead.
So this right here is my 1987 Ski-Doo Citation. It was inherited from my grandfather. We used to ride around the fields on it when I was younger and everything, and I used to actually ride around with my grandmother on the back because she was too afraid to drive it.
Nice.
Yeah, we used to just drive around the fields here at my grandfather's house, which is actually the property I'm at now because my parents purchased it. But I had been interested in going to the vintage snowmobile events. Last year was the first year I was actually able to attend them, and I talked to my grandfather previously about bringing it, and he said, "Oh, I don't care. It's your snowmobile. Do what you want."
Sure.
So the next day I saw him, he started asking again, "Hey, so you're going to bring the snowmobile to the show?" I'm like, "I don't know, Grandpa. Just talked to you about it yesterday." And he kept that up for a couple more days. So I decided I was going to bring it no matter what. And a few days after that conversation, he actually passed away. This was in January of last year.
Yeah.
And then I went to the Crane show in February, the first weekend of February. And luckily, I was able to attend that, and we all had a good time there. And more than grateful that I was actually able to get second place in my class.
Wow.
So
that's amazing. So I'm sure he's looking down on all of that and being very proud of you, I would imagine.
I sure hope so.
Yeah, for sure. Now, Brian, before you continue, one thing I forgot to do is I wanted to ask our viewers to comment on this. If they have any questions for you or comments about the sled, or I'd like it if they could let us know whether or not they can see your sled. So anyone viewing this, if you could comment, we would really love it. And yeah, continue, Brian. I didn't mean to cut you off there. Please continue.
Oh, that's okay. I'll actually do a walk around to the sled just so everyone can kind of see it right now. Like I said, the 87 Citation has never been restored. Nothing's ever been changed on it. It's all original except the windshield, which I ended up breaking when I was a kid. I drove into one of the apple trees.
Oh, no.
So we didn't have to replace that. But besides that, everything else is fully original on it.
Nice.
We just walk around and show you guys the sled. I can actually open the hood for you.
Yes, please do.
So, yeah, nothing's been painted. It's just been cleaned up, polished.
Yeah, that's
very common for the Citations. You can actually see where you get the burn mark on the toolbox cover.
Yes.
But yeah, and then I don't know why my grandfather had that little piece of tin over the exhaust.
Sure. Yeah.
I left it there just because it's something that he put on. He was very influential in getting me into a snowmobile. So
Nice.
actually, I got his first snowmobile also, which is a 72 Elan. I started riding that here at his house probably around 4 or 5 years old. So he and my father got me into the snowmobiling at a very young age.
Nice.
And, I've definitely been hooked on it ever since.
Awesome. Now, were they brand loyal to the Ski-Doo brand, or is that just coincidence that they were both Ski-Doos? Or
they preferred the Ski-Doos, but my grandfather had the 72 Elan, 250 single cylinder, and then he ended up purchasing this 87 Citation. Right before I was born, my father bought an 88 Ski-Doo Safari 377, which I also still have.
Nice.
So just what they preferred.
Sure.
I actually have, let me think about it, 2 Polarises, an Arctic Cat, and then the rest are Ski-Doos.
Nice. So you've got a mix of them.
Yeah, a little bit of variety.
Nice. Oh, Jeff Nix is asking us how many miles are on this sled.
It's very, very few. My grandfather never took it anywhere. It was just ridden around a 3-acre field, once a couple times a year. So it's very, very low in mileage.
Very nice. Good deal. Yeah. Thank you, Jeff, for asking that question. We appreciate it. And I recognize you, Jeff, from other podcasts. So I appreciate you being a repeat viewer here. But yeah, please continue, Brian.
There. Yeah. So last year I ended up taking up the Cranes. Then after Cranes, we ended up going to Bear Brook, which I went there with my wife, my friend, and his son, and we all had a good time there. So I hope to continue this. Snowmobiling has been a hobby for me ever since I was very little. But definitely doing these vintage events, definitely interested in, and it's something I want to keep continuing going.
Nice. Yeah, those are a lot of fun, aren't they?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Those vintage events are a lot of fun, aren't they?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now that I've gone to them and had the older sleds with the connection with my grandfather and my father, definitely something I'm interested in and I want to stay around.
Nice. Nice.
Hopefully in the near future we'll be able to actually get the Elan on here. Yeah.
That would be cool. And I'm going to ask people to keep an eye out for you at the next Crane show. I know I'm planning to go, and I'm going to keep an eye out for you. And hopefully you'll keep an eye out for me, and hopefully we'll run into each other and hang out a little bit. And anyone viewing, if you see either of us over there at the show, please say hello.
Yeah, the more the merrier. It's definitely a tight-knit community, and everyone seems to help everybody out, and something that you can definitely grow fond of.
Yeah, for sure. It is addictive. You're right. Before we wrap this up, Brian, are you open to starting that sled up?
Yeah, sure. I'm actually fire it up right now for you.
Yeah, awesome.
Too a little cold.
Sure. No, that's cool.
Yeah. If you'd like, do you want me to fire it up again, or?
Yeah, if you feel like it. Yeah, and Outboard Marine is on here. He says, "Nice ski-doo, Brian. Thanks for sharing." So you're getting some comments here. There we go. Good deal. Well, good. Yeah, I really appreciate your coming on, Brian. That's really fun to see that, and I hope you'll come on again and show us that Eland at some point and some of your
Absolutely.
other.
Thank you very much for having me on and making me a part of this, and I definitely look forward to more in the future.
Good deal. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. We'll be in touch.
All right. Thank you very much.
All righty. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
All right. Take care.
All right, yeah, that was Brian Robillard, and thank you so much to Brian for coming on here live. He was our first live participant in this podcast, and not our last for sure. And I'd like to have him on again real soon to show some of his other sleds. So let's not waste any time. Let's meet Jim Layton. Let me bring him to the stream here. How you doing tonight, Jim?
Good. Good. How are you?
Very good, thank you. I appreciate your coming on.
No
now we've been chatting. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Great event. Great event. Glad to be part of it.
Well, glad. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm glad to hear that. Now, you mentioned earlier you've got some vintage ski-doos you'd like to show us. Are you ready to give us some show and tell on that?
Yeah, we can do that. I'm going to try to turn the camera around here so we can go through it.
Sure.
Remember how this is all done here in front?
That's all right. Take your time.
All right, there's my feet.
Sure.
All right, so we'll start with a sled that I just brought in. It's not a ski-doo, but it's pretty close.
I remember those.
1971. I'm actually doing this for my cousin. He was looking for something that his grandparents used to ride, and that happened to be one of them. So we picked up 8 of them to see if we can make 2. So
wonderful.
Starting off, this one's a single-cylinder sled. It's got the slide rail suspension. It's kind of a Johnny Cash sled. Got a 400-gallon single motor and a slide rail suspension on it. So,
sure.
But it'll be a fun sled when we get it together and get it on the trail.
Nice.
So, yep.
Now I'm going to interrupt you for 1 second, Jim.
Yep.
We've got a lot of comments coming in from people saying that they can see us and hear us. I'm going to ask them if they have questions for you to please post a comment, and as those come up, I'll read them and ask you the questions, and hopefully you have an answer for us.
Well, we'll try.
Wonderful. Yeah, please continue, Jim.
We'll do our best. So we'll go over. I got a few motors. That's a Sachs motor for one of these ski rules. That's a 340 SS motor. It's, I guess from what I understand, it's pretty desirable engine. I'm not much of a ski rule guy, so don't know a lot about them.
Sure.
Move on to my 66S motor with the twin carbs.
Nice.
Got the chassis of that down back. There's a motor from my 65. That's also with the chassis down back. The 64 motor and chassis are still together. They're all sitting in the trailer. We got a 440 TNT engine out of a 71 Ski-Doo. We'll move over on. Here we go.
While you're going over there, Paul Bidu has made a comment. He said that's an oldie but a goodie. I'm not sure which of the engines or if it was the ski roll, but he likes what he's seeing. But please continue.
We got a 292 Black Dot engine.
Nice.
This is a 71 340 TNT.
Yep.
And this motor here was from one of the almost first racing sleds that my dad had, which I still have everything to. It just needs an awful lot of work. That's a 669. It has the dual carbs on it.
Nice.
So I've got that. I've got the whole sled. It just, like I said, it needs a lot of work, but it ain't going to go anywhere, even if I don't ever get a chance to fix it, just because, again, it's another one of his.
Yes.
We'll move over here. We've got a 340 Black Dot. It's a beaten up old machine that we like to race around with. I've done it some grass drags, and we've taken it on some ice drags, some radar runs. We try to run it in a little circuit that we have here, but it hasn't got much running in that circuit. But it's a fun little machine to have around. So it's a fun toy to play with.
Yeah, with that Black Dot, that's an interesting piece of history right there.
Yes. Yeah. So then here's my lineup that for some reason I'm very partial to the 1970 Olympics.
Yes.
Not sure why. I just love the bubble nose. I've always had a 1970 Olympic for the most part. As a kid, I remember, I think actually the first one that we had was a 69 12-3. And what we're seeing here, closest one to me is a 70 12-3. That is this one here. I just got this fall to kind of looking in that 70 lineup that Skidoo had. The only one I'm missing is 335 had an electric start, one of these, and that would make the fourth round that they had in 1970 for the Olympics. But I have all three sizes.
That's cool.
So this one is the one that I just got. I'm going to do hopefully a lot of work to this, picking up some seat to seat. Going to probably put it together first, get it out running and playing it, and then we'll strip it down. And I think that may be one that I might take and really clean up and paint really well, and then just work my way across the line.
Yeah, that's a great foundation for a project.
Yep. Next one's the 335, and that's a single cylinder, obviously.
Yep.
And then the next one over is the 399, which is a twin.
Nice.
So,
Now, we do have some comments coming in. I'll interrupt you real quickly. Tom Peters, a mutual friend of ours, has come on. He's saying hello. He likes what he sees. And then Jeffrey Saunders says he has an Olympic as well.
Yes. There's a lot of these out there. They are so much fun to drive.
Yes, and they're iconic.
Yes. The 399, I got that out of a barn. The barn actually collapsed. I did have to find another Callan for it and a steering post. But beyond that, everything else is totally original. The 335 I actually found in town here on somebody's backyard, covered in an old tarp that had been sitting there for years. That kind of averted me. And then I found it when the wind started tearing the tarp apart. This one is basically totally original. And the same with the 12.3. What you see is what it was when I picked it up just this fall.
Nice.
So those are my babies. I really, like I said, I really like the 70 lineup. We have quite a few different sleds when it all comes down to it. This one right here I got, and I'm holding on to it for dear life for my granddaughter.
Yeah.
71 kitty cat, hanging in the rafters of my garage.
Wonderful.
Still has the original seat on it. It's in pretty good shape. So
Nice.
Runs really well. So
Now, Jim, is that the first year they made the kitty cats?
What's that?
Is that the first year they made the kitty cats?
From what I understand, I believe that is the first year the kitty cat was made.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Oh, and Brian Robillard is on here. He's admiring your collection. He's a fellow Ski-Doo enthusiast as well, and he says he likes your collection. So please continue.
Thank you. Yes. So in amongst those type of things, I like to kind of work my way around and have a few little toys of different sort that I can take to a show. And this is obviously probably things I've seen on the internet before, but it was something that came out of my head that a friend of mine helped me build. And essentially we took a little Murray mini bike. The front ski is often a 67 Ski-Doo drop down. The rear end is a double track, and that is often a Sears snowblower.
No kidding.
And the engine is often a big old, and I don't remember which snowblower, but the engine is a Kohler motor, often another old snowmobile. And we just kind of pieced it together and kind of made a fun little toy out of it. It's something that I can get on and drive around the grounds with at a show. And people just kind of look at it and go, wow, what is that thing?
Yeah, I bet that gets a lot of double and triple takes. And yeah, that's truly unique.
So that's that's one of the neat little toys that we're working with.
Wonderful. And Chuck Lako is on here too. He's saying nice collection. So we've got a lot of people on here admiring what you have in your garage there.
So what I've got here tonight is a small handful of what we have between me and a friend of mine, and we're hoping to stick together a building locally here where we can house these things. Rather they look the way they look what you're seeing right now, or their sleds have been totally redone and look brand new. We have the kind of from one end of the spectrum to the other of something that we pulled off a rock pile to sleds that have been totally redone and brand new. And that is something that we're hoping to put into this. We kind of affectionately call it a museum, but obviously it won't really be a museum, but it'll be something that's local here for people if they wanted to come see it. But I think more or less we're really building it for ourselves to work on our sleds where we can all get together as friends and have fun and put things together. So we have some pretty unique stuff. My hopes is that maybe the next time that we talk, I can put together some of our factory race sleds that we have. And we can show those. We have some Blizzards. We've got some Arctic Cats, Snowjet, some different things like that they're pretty fun sleds. So the one of them is Tom Peters. He purchased it and rebuilt it. It's a 71 Blizzard 440.
Sure.
And the thing is literally brand new. It's never had fuel or oil in it. It's never run. When he rebuilt it to brand new spec and then left it
Wow.
on a stand. Never been started. So it's a really cool type of thing to have. It matches my father's 71 797 Blizzard,
Sure.
which you'll see when we do that. That's an original sled that he bought brand new from a local dealer when he was racing. And we'll go over that stuff at a time when we can kind of show those.
Nice. Now we've got David Crawford on here. He's complimenting you on that Mini. He really likes that. And he's also wondering about this museum project that you have going. He's wondering where that is.
We are looking to try to do something in Caribou, Maine.
Caribou, Maine.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah,
and I hope you'll come on
that's
every now and then and give us updates with your projects and the museum project and all of that.
We will. It's like I said, it's something that my buddy really is, he really enjoys it. He enjoys picking up these sleds, and we all enjoy getting together and rebuilding them and riding them. And so it started out to be a workshop so everybody could be together, and it just turned into something that hopefully we're going to have the right building to kind of work on stuff, but also have everything lined up that, that it's all there. And if somebody wanted to come see it, we could open the doors up and show it off.
Wonderful. So I imagine at first it would start as almost by appointment only, so to speak. And
it probably
point,
would, yeah. And that
sure.
may be all it is going to be. If we can even get there, that's our hopes. You got to find the right building and have the right, to be able to do that. But we do have to have a place for our sleds because there's quite a few sleds. So he's pretty diligently looking for something or going to do something. So eventually I'm hoping we'll have something that we can share with the public a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. And if anybody viewing this knows of something in the Caribou, Maine area of a building that might be possibly suitable, definitely reach out to Jim and or to me even, and I'll relay that to Jim.
Yeah. So this going back to talking about this sled right here, the Black Dot and the vintage racing. I think it probably for us here in Maine, it all extends to the One Lunger 100 in Turner, where they do the big single cylinder race every year that they've gone on
Sure.
for so long. And then there's a group that started a race circuit, and that race circuit has gone on for a few years now. And it extends from the single cylinders up to the twins and triples and whatever. And it's quite a circuit that runs from one end of Maine to the other. A lot of riders, a lot of fun. We jumped in on that a couple of years ago as a fundraiser for our cancer fund that we have in Limestone. So we've been raising money to help patients out that can't afford the gas, the hotel rooms, the food, the trips to go to Bangor, or Portland, or Boston, or wherever they need to go. And we started that out and by doing a motorcycle ride, and then we got into doing a few other fundraisers, and then we joined in with this race. And actually, this month here, we have dished out in the 5 or 6 years that we've been doing it, we dished out $100,000 in help for.
Wow, that is impressive.
So that is something that we're pretty proud of. That we just got word on that's the money that we've raised over the years and helped people out. So that's
impressive, and that offers genuine help to people who really need it.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a website or anything for that fundraising effort?
We don't. We have a Facebook page. It's called Brian's Ride.
Brian's Ride. Okay.
Yeah.
So if someone is curious about that, search for Brian's Ride on Facebook if you're curious about that, and that would take you there. But I didn't mean to interrupt you. You've got a poster on the wall there. Please tell me more about that.
Okay. So this poster is my father's Blizzard. I took this picture here when in 2010. It was sitting in the gravel pit down back of the farm, and then in 2018 is when my father first got his hands back on it after the Kiefers had restored it, and I got it back from the Kiefers after it was totally done, and brought it home and surprised him with it. And so he's standing by it when it had been sitting forever, and then after the restore.
Wow! So before and after.
Yeah,
that's an impressive restoration.
It's a beautiful restoration. They did a wonderful job.
Yeah, for sure. That's really nice.
So if I can turn back around here, camera. Oh, there we are. All right. So I'm not sure if anybody's got anything else. That's kind of what I got here for tonight.
Yeah, I really appreciate your coming on. And David Crawford has commented, good work. He said it's really good work.
Thanks.
And yeah, I appreciate your coming on. And I hope you'll come back every now and then to show us more of your projects and keep us posted on the museum as well as the fundraising effort.
We will. And hopefully if we can come out of this and we can have our race in March, I definitely will be back on to let you know how that's going. And if it's gonna come around, that's quite a race, and maybe we can have a little bit of video from that here and there. And
Yeah, I'd like to talk to you about that. Yeah, once
See how it
we're
goes.
offline, we'll see if we can make arrangements to do something live from that race.
Yep.
And once you have dates or any kind of arrangements, keep me posted on that, and we'll put it on here.
I will. I'll keep in contact with the operator of that from Tame the Track and see how he's coming with it, and we'll see how this whole COVID thing works out. And if we're, if it does work out and we can have a race, then I'll definitely get back with you on it.
Wonderful.
Hopefully sometime next month or maybe in February we'll have some race sleds sitting somewhere where I can kind of do the same thing again.
Yeah, that'd be great. We would love to see those. And I'm sure the audience would as well. And we've got more comments. David Crawford says, thanks to Mike and Jim, and your friend and mine, Tom Peters, says this is great. He really likes it.
Yep, thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, great. Thanks for coming on, Jim. Have a wonderful evening.
All right, you too.
All righty, take care.
Yep, bye.
Let's bring him on right now. I'm getting him. Here we go. How you doing tonight, Remy? Can you hear me okay?
Hi, people. Hi, Mike.
Hi, nice to see you. I appreciate your coming on tonight. Now, Remy is
Yeah.
from Quebec.
Thanks.
And Remy has a website. I'm going to show you his website. It's a website called Bring Back the Ski-Doo Elan. And I think that's a great idea. What can you tell us about that, Remy? Do you want to tell us about your project?
Yeah, it started this summer when I was building my four-stroke Elan, and I asked me why did Bombardier didn't make it again. And I think it's a good idea because the snowmobile are very powerful and not very adept for young people. And the Elan is 50 years old, and people want them. So I think it's a good idea to bring them back.
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree. I think it would be nice to have a snowmobile with a low price point and something that's just as light and easy and agile to use as the Elan was. Those little Elans would go everywhere, anywhere that these big, powerful sleds would go. And I think these powerful sleds are great. The modern powder sleds are great. But I do believe that there's a place for something like the Elan, something really lightweight and inexpensive. It seems like that would be a hit with the ice fishermen as well. Now, while we're talking about this, Remy, I'm going to pose a question to the audience to get some feedback. So to the audience that's watching this, tell me what you think. Would you like to see Ski-Doo bring back the old 1995, 1996, which is the last year of production? Would you like to see them just retool that model year and bring that back? Or would you like to see Ski-Doo reinvent the Elan and do a complete modern interpretation of the Elan? So I'm going to ask you guys to post your comments and see what you guys are thinking about that and see if we can get some consensus as to which way people are leaning with that. And before we do, Remy, I'm going to ask you to hold on a second. I want to see what we've had come in for comments of people watching here. We've got John Spranger from Flame, Wisconsin. We've got Andre DePati. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble reading the screen here. Harry Batdorf from International Falls, Minnesota. Perry Kemments from Pembina, North Dakota. Jim Layton, a good friend of ours. How you doing, Jim? He's wishing us Happy New Year's from the state of Maine. We've got Sam Field on. He said, good evening. It looks good and sounds good. Oh, I can put these right on the screen here, which is nice while I'm doing this. We've got Bill Cook from upstate New York. We have Scott Verdon from Michigan. Richard Murphy, first-time viewer from Drake, Massachusetts. Welcome, Richard. I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you decide to come back and join us every week. We have a great time doing this. We've got Mark Maratsky, first-time viewer from Minnesota. Thanks for coming on, Mark. We really appreciate that. We've got Ray Nelson from Cumberland, Wisconsin, first-time viewer. Thank you so much, Ray, for giving us a shot and see what's going on here. We've got Kurt Isaacson from Lemoore, North Dakota. John Panuski from Anoka, Minnesota. Did I read that twice? I'm not sure. Anyway, we've got Brian Robillard, a good friend of ours. Brian is on here every week. We really appreciate your coming on. And Brian is from Putnam, Connecticut. John Baird, first-time viewer. Thanks for coming on, John. Appreciate it. Hope you'll join us every week. Tom Gregory from Armada, Michigan. Bill Desjardins from Alberta, Canada. We've got Scott Brown from the boondocks of North Dakota. Brad Curtis. Sounding good, he says. Brad is from Syracuse, New York. Jeff Brain from Lee, Massachusetts. Cecil Fossil, first-time viewer from Northwest Minnesota. Thanks for coming on, Cecil. Appreciate your coming and checking us out. Lyndon Dewey, sounds good, from Stillman Valley, Illinois. Andre DePati from Quebec. Now, there's a fellow Quebecer there for you, Remy. So that's cool. We've got Jeff Nix, regular viewer, checking in from North Liberty, Iowa. And yeah, we get a lot of Quebecers. And by the way, we've got a lot of Quebecers that view this, so if you are from Quebec, please say hello and mention that you are watching from Quebec. We've got Jeff Spranger Jr. from Spans, Wisconsin. Rick Libby, first-time viewer, St. Andrews, New Brunswick. And I lost my place here on the... If I scroll, it really goes by. I apologize. Okay, here we go. Joe Lewis from Jackson, Maine. Marshall Lowe. I don't know if that's a person or a place, but Marshall Lowe, Jackson, Maine. Thanks for coming on. We really appreciate it. Lyndon Dewey, regular viewer from Stillman Valley, Illinois. Bill Cook. Yes, he's seen the price of the Elan go up $1,000. Okay. We've got Aaron Sully from Cabot, Vermont. I've met Aaron at some of the Vintage Snowmobile shows. He's got some really nice sleds. Aaron, we'd love to have you come on here live sometime, by the way. Let's have a side conversation about that. Send me an email if you would. If you'd like to come on, do some show and tell with some of your sleds. I know you've got a lot of them between your brother and your father. We would love to have some of that on here. Next, we've got Steve Dickinson, a good friend of mine. Steve Dickinson has a lot of really nice vintage Arctic Cats, and he is from Berlin, New Hampshire. We see him at a lot of the shows. Sam Field. Yes, okay. Sam Field likes the idea of the revamping the Elan with a 4-stroke. And in a few minutes, Remy is going to show us his 4-stroke project. I'm sorry, I can't talk tonight.
Yes.
Remy has done a 4-stroke conversion of 1971 Elan, which is really nice. And once we've gone through all these comments here, we're just about done, and we're going to have Remy show us that. But I wanted to just say hi to everybody who's saying hi to us. We've got Paul Bilodeau from Gonick, New Hampshire. Thank you for coming on, Paul. I think you've been on here before. I recognize your name there. George Zanbelt from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. We've got Paul Noblock. Where is all the snow? Yes, if you're in the Northeast, not much snow. How are you doing with snow up there, Remy? Do you guys have much snow up in Quebec?
No, not at this time.
Yeah, same here. We've got about 6 inches of that. It's pathetic.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
I'm maybe an hour or more south of you. I'm just over the border in Vermont. But just a few more comments to go over through here. Peter Chappell from Cuyahoga, New York. We have Brian Abrams, Lake George, New York. Paul Noblock, Wausau, Wisconsin. Francis Benson. Okay, now we're starting to get into some comments about the Elan. Francis says he loves the idea for the Elan, and I bet he's looking forward to having you fire that up and take a look at that project you've got. Let's see. Alden Banks from New Brunswick, Canada. Diane Baker from New York in the Catskill Mountains. Thanks for coming on, Diane. We appreciate it. George Harrisumchuk. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, but George is from Kenora, Ontario, Canada, and he thinks a liquid-cooled Elan would be great with more suspension travel. That's a great idea, George. What do you think about that, Remy? You like that idea? Go ahead.
I want to keep. Yeah, it's a good idea, but maybe with the 4-stroke, I don't think you need a liquid cooled engine, because this is a little sled that don't have a lot of performance, so heat is not a big problem with this kind of sled, I think. But it's because at the end, it's the weight of the sled count too.
Oh yes, that's what accounts for the agility of the Elan, is how light it was. Yeah, absolutely. Just a few more here. We've got Jamie Duffy coming on. We've got Rick Petrucco from Cortland, New York. We have Rob Ramesh from Ontario, first-time viewer. Thanks for coming on, Rob. Patrick Goodrow, a good friend of ours from Haverhill, Mass. Pat is on here every week, and we'd like to have Pat on to show us some of his ski-doos and talk about his racing history. We're going to have him on very soon, possibly even next week if I can talk him into it. Paul Bilodeau. Okay, here's some comments that Paul had about the Elan. He says, they had a lot of cool slides back in the 60s and 70s. They should bring them back at an affordable price. I totally agree. Richard Murphy wants to know where this show is based out of. I'm in the thriving metropolis of Derby Line, Vermont, right on the Canadian border, right on the Quebec border. If I throw a rock off the edge of my property, it'll land in Quebec. In fact, that's how close I am to Quebec. And I don't know if Remy would see that in Quebec. He's probably 100 miles north of me, but yeah, it's right on the border of Quebec. Rick Libby thinks a fuel-injected 4-stroke Elan would be sweet with all the suspension upgrades. Yeah, suspension travel, I would think. A little more suspension travel than the old Elans. What do you think on that, Remy?
Yeah, it's a good idea, because the buggy system is a hold system. It was a good system, but a bit too hold, and we need more comfort on these little sled. And the front suspension have to be modified too.
Yes, maybe some ski spreaders, and yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and A-arms and.
Sure. And we got Bill Cook on here. Okay, Bill Cook is asking, isn't that what they're trying to do for the kids with the 120s? And yeah, I think in some ways. What do you think, Remy?
What's the question?
He's thinking, as far as the Elan project that we're talking about, isn't that what they're trying to do for the kids with the 120 sleds, with the 120cc junior sleds that they've got? In some ways, I think that fills the Elan spot. But the nice thing I'm thinking about the Elan is that it was designed for adults and children. And I don't know. I've never ridden one of those 120s. I don't know how agile that is in the deep powder. Do you have any thoughts on that, Remy? Or?
120s. He talked about the track.
Yeah. Or
he talks about the track.
Yeah, no, not a 120-inch track. About the 120cc junior sleds, the youth sleds.
Okay.
Wondering if that would.
They are too small for an adult.
Yeah.
It's because they are very too small for an adult.
Yeah, they're great for the kids though. But yeah, too small for an adult. And then we've got Ben Tucker
for the kids.
Tunbridge.
Yeah, for sure.
Sure, Ben Tucker from Tunbridge, Vermont. So yeah, let's go back to our conversation, Remy. I wonder if you'd take us on a little tour of your Elan project that you have there. I think you're sitting on it, correct?
Yeah, for sure. Just switch the cam.
Sure.
Okay.
And while he's turning that camera around, I've got a link in the description
Okay.
if you'd like to check out Remy's petition.
Yeah. So here's the engine. So I've just removed the 247 Rotax engine and put 13 horsepower. It's a Honda copy. So I've put a Comet clutch on it.
Yeah.
They are almost ready to put it right there, and they work pretty well. So you don't have to modify anything. And on the secondary clutch, I've put a Yamaha Bravo spring. They are stiffer, and you have a little better acceleration with this engine. And I've welded an exhaust, and it goes right where the two-stroke exhaust go.
Oh yeah.
And that's very simple to do. There's a lot of more of thinking than making.
Sure. Yeah, I imagine a lot of planning goes into that. Yeah, for sure.
I can start it if you want to see it.
Yeah. Yes, please. Yeah.
They start better. They start very better than the two-stroke. That's very smooth.
Yeah, that's very smooth. Nice. Yeah, that's very smooth.
And I have a lot more torque with the four-stroke engine.
Oh yeah, more torque.
Yeah, a lot more. So if you have to pull something like I do, I'm pulling a water tank for my sugar shack.
Yes.
And I will see this fall. This is springs. I will see the springs how it works with the water tank.
Nice. And I bet that would be good for someone doing ice fishing, trying to pull a sled with all their ice fishing gear. I bet that'd be perfect.
Yeah, it's the same things. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, good. Well, before we wrap it up, Remy, I'm going to show a video that you sent me of you riding this very sled. I'm going to show this to our friends.
My
here.
speed record.
Yes, that's right. Let's take a look. Yeah, there you have it. Well, cool. That was Remy on his four-stroke Elan project. And if you like the idea of Ski-Doo bringing back the Elan, sign Remy's petition. There's a link in the description where you can sign the petition, and he'll pass that on to the Ski-Doo people and see if we can't get something like that happening. That would be really nice. Yeah. Any final thoughts, Remy, before we go?
I will say thanks to all people who's watching the podcast, and thanks for sharing and signing the petition. I think together we can bring back the Elan, but we need a lot of people who sign this. And I will make a call to the CEO of Bombardier to try to change his mind.
Yeah, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. I'd love to see that. And if they ever come back with it, we'll cover it on this podcast.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely. Good. Yeah, we'll have you on and we'll cover it. We'll introduce it together. Wonderful. Well, good deal. I appreciate you coming on, Remy.
Thanks, Mike, and have a good evening.
All right, you as well. I'm not going to keep Joe Roscoe waiting any longer. Let's bring him on to the podcast and turn his mic on. How you doing, Joe?
Good evening, Mike. Good.
Well, good. Yeah, thank you so much for coming on to the podcast. Now, Joe is on here from Ontario, and he's at his family dealership, his Ski-Doo dealership. He's got some incredible show and tell that he's going to be sharing with us tonight. I'm going to put a banner up on the screen here. This is the name of his dealership, and in a second here, he's going to turn his camera around and talk up what he's got going on there. And I'm going to remove this from the screen. There we go. Yeah, he's turning his camera around right now. Yeah, wait till you see, guys, what he's got to show us. This is going to be great.
We'll go right to the gas tanks first, though, Mike.
Yes, by all means.
Okay, I noticed when you had it on, it was Joe's gas tank. It's not Joe's. It's Joe and Mike's, or Mike and Joe's, or Mike Orr is online. He's really the biggest contributor. Mike's done all the work. I just give him the work to do. So
gotcha. Okay.
But
I'm glad you cleared that up.
Oh yeah, no, Mike does a fantastic job. He's a perfectionist. So actually, Ken's online. This is one of Ken's tanks, the moto skis. Ken's invested quite a bit in it, and Mike did the tank for Ken, and it's perfect to a T, if you notice.
Yeah, that's nice.
Then in the middle here is the Blizzard bubble nose tank, and it's an exact fit, part numbers and all. And right here is the 72 Blizzard tank. If you look real close, I don't know if you can see it, you'll see the part number right in it. So
yes.
These tanks are an exact fit, better than better than the new ones, better plastic, and Mike is a perfectionist, so you can guarantee that they're perfect to a T. One other thing Mike's done for me is the head. That's a 70 Blizzard 340 for the bubble nose. That's the head, and he's currently working on that cylinder as we speak.
Wonderful.
What Mike is also working on, we've got a 71 wide body Blizzard tank, and Mike probably, I hope his iPad doesn't blow up right now, but we're trying to have it ready by the end of February, so hopefully that'll be out. With Ken's got different vintage motoski parts too. He's got chain cases, trunks, belt covers, so if you need anything, get in touch with Ken at kensrehab.com, I believe it is, and you'll be able to get motoski parts. For the tanks, you can get in touch with my son at the store here, or Goose is going to be selling them in the U.S. So Goose in the U.S., that's Ken or Ron Thompson, and he's looking after U.S. sales for us. Nice.
And Ken and Mike are both in the comments right now. So if you were curious about these tanks and want to reach out to either of them, just contact them in the comments there and get a conversation started. But yeah, this is great, Joe. Go ahead. Please continue.
Yes. So I'll try and give different views so that everyone can see. So we're hoping to move these tanks. Basically, what people have to understand is shipping. We can do nothing about shipping. Shipping's expensive. Can't do anything about it. And right now, we're really not making money. We would just like to break even. The cost of the mold is very considerable. So
Sure.
It's really just the hobby and to get things done.
Gotcha. Now, John Fitzgibbons is watching, and he's wondering who he might contact in the U.S. To get some of these tanks. I know you'd mentioned Goose as your U.S. contact. Is there a phone number or something for him?
Yes, I'd have to post it. I don't know it off heart, but I will post it for everyone.
Wonderful, wonderful. And also, if someone is curious too, you can email me after the program, and Joe will share that information with me, and I can relay that to you. And also, as you can see here, Ken Haberman is on, and he's got his contact information there. You can find him in the comments of this video if you'd like to reach out to him. But yeah, please tell us about this citation.
That's a 1980 Citation SS. It's pretty well perfect. It's not the one we had as new, but my wife had one exactly. We bought it, the first new sled we ever bought, and so it was one of the favorites I wanted to pick up, and finally did, and so I got it now on display.
Yeah, I remember those when they came out. I was a teenager, and I was madly in love with those.
I'll just take a walk around. I've got a few more. These are kind of some of the ones I have, just special ones I put on display for everyone to see in the store.
I like that RV.
Yeah, they were a little bit hard to find sometimes, but I've got a couple of them actually.
Yeah, and tell me about that racing sled, if you would. Do you mind going back for a second?
Which one?
That one right there in the center of the screen.
Okay, that one actually originated from Kirkland Lake. It was.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it was bought. It came out of Barrie. The fellow was my age. He bought it brand new for I think $5,500, and he raced it, and then it ended up in different places. And I got it from back. It came from Gary Peltola out of Thunder Bay.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have the history on it. And then the MXZ, the one in the corner was 2005, the last year of the 800 in Snowcross. So that was my son's last sled. I kept it just as a memento. And then you see the Elite up in I have a couple of them. I got one at home. I drive around right now on the ice.
Wow, that must be fun.
Yeah, they're kind of a hoot to play with. And then the Can-Am, Mike gave me the Can-Am motocross bike. Nice.
Is that late 70s?
Yeah, around 74.
74, okay.
And then my Millennium Mach Z. The Alpine.
Is that the year they had 1,000cc on the Mach Z?
No, 800, that one.
800, okay.
Yeah. So the Alpine, it's 68 Alpine. That's one of my favorites because my dad had bought us one brand new when we were kids. So that was the first sled we had as kids, and it was always fun to drive. Electric start, have the opposed 18.
Yeah.
Then, up beside the 72 340 Blizzard is 2007, the last year of the 440s. I think that one has about 25 miles on it. That's about it.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah.
And then the first year, 2008, the XP, that's a 600 XP MXZ. And then I believe that's a 2007 600 SDI.
Yeah.
So, and then, of course, the anniversary sled in the corner. It's just fun collecting and doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Now,
do you have? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
you meet a lot of nice people, and I've gotten to know a lot of really good people and a lot of good friends with it.
Yeah, I'm sure. I apologize. My cell phone's going nuts here. I had muted my microphone there for a second to keep it off, but I wanted to respond to you. But yeah, please continue.
So I'll just go back to the tanks to get a good look. So we're hoping to get interest in them just to get them out and get just get something back for all the work in the molds, really. And like I said, if it wasn't for Mike, we'd never be able to do this.
Yeah, for sure. That's cool. Now, I'm sorry, I'm trying to mute my phone here while we're talking because it's going nuts. Here we go. That ought to do it. Did I see a black dot on the rack there in the shop? Yes, there and an Elan is up there too, I think, and a Blizzard and a TNT.
Yeah, 74 TNT free air. The bubble nose Blizzard, that's a 340 right beside it, and a 71 340 Blizzard also.
Nice. Is it possible to get in a little closer on those?
I'll try to.
All right, don't trip or hurt yourself or anything. If you can't get in closer, that's okay too. But I just love to see those.
There's so much stuff in the store here; it's just hard to get around.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that a little bit better, Mike?
Yeah, I'm liking that. That's wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, I wonder if you could tell us about some of those. Any details or any stories behind any of those?
Yeah, the 340 was from Kirkland Lake here. It was a local dealer here, and so it's been around here its whole lifetime. I was lucky to track it down and bring it back and restore it and put it back to the store. It's nice when you have the history on it.
Yeah.
Actually, I remember going as a kid and drooling in the dealership looking at those.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And then that one on the far left, is that like an early 60s, one of the early production models?
Yeah, that's a 62, I believe.
62, yeah.
62 tin cab. It's got the JLO engine, that one.
Yeah. And does it have the wooden skis or the steel skis? Or
Steel skis.
Steel skis, yeah. Nice. And then to the right of that is what, an Olympic?
Olympic. That's
Okay.
The 12.3.
12, oh, yes, yeah. Good. And what year is that Elan?
It's a 78.
78, yeah.
So.
And then that's a free air TNT?
Yeah, 74 400.
74. Very nice. Very nice.
I think that's the 399, the black dot.
Okay. Yeah, those are nice. You don't see many of those. Would you like to talk up the dealership a little bit? I know this is a family dealership. I wonder if you could tell us a little bit about the history of it and what brands you have and anything you'd like to say about it.
Actually, the dealership now is owned by my son Tanner. So him and his sister actually work in the dealership, and they do quite well. It's 100% BRP. So they sell all Ski-Doo, Can-Am side by sides. As you can see, all the different ones here. All the clothing. Sea-Doo, he also sells. He's big into fishing, so he's got a line of fishing, hunting, guns, steel products. I've got because I'm a logger, really. I've got a couple things. I got a vintage, an old vintage chainsaw here.
Oh yes, yeah.
And then even the chainsaw for cutting cement.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh yeah.
So is that a chain with a special type of teeth on it that is designed for cutting through concrete, or how?
Yeah, it's got it's a carbide chain.
Okay, yeah.
And you feed it with water just to keep the chain lubricated and cool and keep the dust down.
Yeah.
But it actually works very well. So
yeah, that's cool.
We've got a real variety of stuff, and it's a nice occupation and hobby actually.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
And I'm more the tinkerer into the old stuff. One time we had a snowcross race team. That's how I got to know Mike, and we became very good friends. And a lot of the sleds, I tried to keep one every year of the race sled. So I've got some of those tucked away, and that was a fun sport. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to have you on another time. I know that you've got another building there with some other sleds, and we'll have to have you on sometime and look at some of those.
Oh yeah, I've got all different makes and models. I've few Arctic Cats, Yamaha, Rups, Snowjet. Snow Runners, Husky, Diablo Rouge, you name it, I collect them all.
Very nice. Very nice. Now, before we wrap it up, do you have any, what would you say are some of your earliest memories of snowmobiling back in the day?
Really, the earliest ones was riding the old, or being able to ride or get a ride on the old double tracks. That's what it was. The early pre-1965, I think they were 8 horsepower at the time.
Wow, like the old Alpines.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
so
nice.
when you were kids, you never had the luxury to ride the snow machines. Even looking at them, and sometimes just being able to run on the packed trail was fun.
Yes.
So,
Did your family do a lot of grooming with that Alpine that you had, that first sled that you had?
no, we just drove it, rode it.
A recreational sled?
over.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, good. I'm going to put that graphic back on here one more time for a phone number. So if anyone has questions about those tanks or anything else that they see here in the dealership, that is how they will get a hold of you, or with your son Tanner, I believe.
That's right.
Wonderful. Well, good. Well, yeah, I really appreciate your coming on tonight, Joe.
Okay, it was fun actually. Mike, enjoyed it.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We'll have you on another time.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. All right. Well, that was Joe Roscoe showing us his dealership, his showroom, and his tanks. And our next guest we're going to have here. Let's take a quick look at this real quick. This is the menu for tonight's programming. We're on number 2 now. We're about to bring on Luke Bristol for a look at his racing sled. Let me get him on. Here he is. And let me get his microphone on. There we go. How you doing, Luke?
Good. You, Mike?
Good. Good. Thanks for coming on. Now Luke is coming on from St. Johnsbury, Vermont, just about an hour from where I live up north in Derby Line. And we're in his shop now. He's going to do a little show and tell on some of his sleds. And he's turning his camera around. Here we go. Let me put you on full screen here.
So this is a 1971 EXT Special. I picked up like maybe like 5 miles down the road from my house.
Yeah.
I'm still looking for the person that raced it. They obviously raced it, but I haven't found anybody that knows anything yet.
Sure. Now, have you raced it yourself or have intentions of racing it?
No, I've had it running. I've driven it around a little bit, but I'm probably not going to race it.
Sure.
Yep. It didn't have the motor in it, so I found the correct motor and the pipes and all that stuff. So it's all correct as far as I can get it right now, and then we'll see where it goes from here.
Nice. Yeah, that's a cool project. I like that. Is that a period sticker, that AC sticker?
Which sticker is this?
That AC sticker on the left side of it?
Oh, I don't know. It's period. It was on there, so I believe it's period correct. I do not know.
Nice.
It was on there. Then the person that I got it from had a 440 Herth in it for driving on the trails. So
I see. Yeah.
They used to just drive it on the trails.
Gotcha. And then you replaced it with this. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yep. I put the right motor in it.
Yeah, that's cool. I like those Emily stickers too.
Then the next one is a 68 Panther with a 372 Herth in it. And it's got a single Montana pipe on it.
Yeah, that's cool. I bet that sounds good when it starts up.
Yeah, it sounds definitely good. And this one was only maybe 3 miles from up the road from my house.
Yeah. Now, is that a fuel tank there on the side of the engine?
Yep. 68s had the suitcase fuel tanks. And then 69, I think they went to the trunk.
In the rear. Okay, yes, I remember those.
I believe. Yeah.
Now, is that suitcase tank removable so you can take it to a gas station to go fill it up and then bring it back to the sled and hook it on? Or?
Yep, you can take it right out. Yep, you can take them right out.
That's actually a cool idea.
Yeah, I don't know why they switched to the trunk because they all just rusted out anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, because we had a 69 Panther back in the day with a fuel tank in the trunk. It had excellent traction, but boy, if you got that stuck, that was really heavy trying to yank on that.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. And then I have a 70 Motoski SM634 that was Frank Scott's race sled from Maine. Yeah, I guess he was a big Motoski dealer down there.
Nice. So this has some racing history.
Yep, this has race history. I took the motor apart, resealed everything, and it's all finger ported. The crank's been welded and banded. It's ported pretty heavily, and it is definitely loud.
I bet it is. Yeah. I like those pipes. Have you had a chance to drive it? Does it have some get up and go? I have driven.
I do. Yeah, I do drive this one. Yep, this one goes pretty good.
I bet it does. Yeah. How does that handle? How does a sled like that handle?
Not good.
No.
Definitely doesn't handle the best.
So it took a lot of body English to race a sled like that, I imagine.
Yeah, definitely. It is one long sled. I think I could fit all my kids on this sled.
That's cool.
And then this is the sled I race still to today. 194R Herth in it. And it's also got it's a 73 Lynx with a full rubber track conversion. So it's full rubber track, clip track, and then we race this in Lancaster, Lisbon, Maine. We do pretty good with them.
Yeah. In fact, I've seen you race that. I've seen you win on that too.
Yep.
Very cool. In fact, you were
Yeah,
riding
these
that
ones, they go
the
pretty
day
good.
we met. The first time
Yep,
we met a few
yeah,
years ago, you
yeah.
were riding that.
Yep, I remember coming off the track and you were standing right there. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, yeah. And I just happened to have the camera rolling too. In a few minutes, I'll roll that video too when we're finished here. But yeah, tell me about how you got into racing.
Yep.
How long have you been racing?
Not that long. One of my buddies was doing it. Ryan Peterson has the same sled as this. We have two of these, and he started racing years ago, and then he got out of it. And then I went to go watch him race one day in Lisbon. I was like, I'm going to get into this. Then we built two matching sleds. So these are identical sleds.
Identical.
And then so I've only been racing 2017 or 16, somewhere in there is when I started, I think.
Yeah. Very nice. And you're hooked at this point. There's no turning back, I imagine.
Yeah, no, there's probably no turning back. I got too many parts for it now.
Nice. Nice. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
A 76. And then, I got so many parts of that motor, I couldn't afford to get out of it now. And then I got a 76 340 snow twister.
Very nice.
This is definitely a fun sled.
Yeah, I bet it is. Those won a lot of races back in the day.
Yeah, I think they still do very good to the day, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That's a really nice shape too.
Yeah, it's not bad. The tunnel's been welded in the back, like typical. They always are.
Yeah.
But this one was only maybe 8 miles from the house. I don't travel very far for these.
Wow, nice.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a sharp looking sled too. They really look nice.
Yeah. Then the Thunderjet I picked up maybe 20 minutes north of here in a barn. And then it came from the person I bought it from, got it from Burlington. They got it from right out of Burlington, maybe in the 80s, I believe.
Okay.
But that one's fun. I take that out on the track every once in a while.
Nice. I've seen you bring that to shows. I think I saw you riding that at the Washington show a couple of years ago.
Yep. I bring it to the shows and I'll ride it around. Yeah. That's definitely that's a fun sled to ride too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very cool. And then you said you do some fabrication of some, I think, engine mounts, I think you said, right?
Oh yeah. For the race sled, for my race sled, I've been making 194R aluminum motor plates. I'm in the process of doing a run of them right now. I'm thinking I can do, like, pricing wise, I'm thinking like $80, I think, shipped anywhere in the US is what I'm thinking on these. But I'm still working on them. They're still in motion right now, but they will be available soon, hopefully.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. In fact, I'm going to put your number on the screen here. So if someone is watching this and is curious about that, this is how you'd get a hold of Luke to speak to him about it.
Yep.
Good deal. And I'll take that off. But yeah, please continue.
I got, what else do I got to show you? I got a 4-cylinder King Cat block, new old stock one that I'm looking for parts for, but yeah, that's impossible to find.
That is cool. That is very cool.
Yep. And then what else do I got? So these are all like for my race sled. This is all my Herth 194R cylinders that I got extra for.
Yeah.
So
backup parts and then backup parts
racing,
to the backup
you know how
parts.
racing goes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yep. And if I had lights in my barn, I could take you out there because I got more stuff out there, but I'd have to wait till daytime.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to have you on another time.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yep. And these are the kids' sleds.
Yep. Now, do your kids race those, or do they just ride those recreationally? Or
they do. They race these. This one's got a 206 Briggs in it that's runs on methanol.
Methanol. Yeah.
So they all look the same. But, yep. And then the green one is a Champ motor that runs on C14.
Okay. And the kids enjoy that?
Yep. Oh yeah, absolutely. They ride more at the house than they do anywhere else. End up wrecking each other all the time.
Demolition derby?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Nice. Now, I know when we were speaking, you mentioned your day job is you have a powder coating business. Do you feel like talking that up in case anyone's in the area that might like to avail themselves of those services?
Yeah, we have performance powder coating right in St. Johnsbury, right at in the Fairbanks Scales building.
Okay.
We have an oven. We do a lot of race car chassis, like quite a few a year. We have an oven that's 8x8 by 16.
Yep.
So we can do pretty big stuff.
Yeah, you can get a big item in there. A vehicle, probably.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. Well, cool. Any final thoughts before we wrap it up? Or
I don't believe so. I think I wrapped everything up that I got in my shop.
yeah. Yeah, well, this is really cool. I appreciate you coming on, Luke.
Yeah, not a problem.
Good deal. Yeah, we'll have you on another time to look at that the items in that other building sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll work. Hopefully I can get some
All right.
lights out there.
Yeah, for sure. Cool deal. Well, yeah, thanks for coming on, Luke. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you,
All right.
Mike.
All righty, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Let's bring Jim Layton onto the stream here. And how you doing tonight, Jim? Oh, I don't have his mic. Sorry. Too much going on here. There we go. I think we'll be able to hear you now. How you doing, Jim?
How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for being on. I appreciate it.
I see Tom's on. Hey, Tom.
Oh, I think the audio dropped on you.
You hear me all right?
Oh boy, yeah, we lost your audio, Jim. I'm not sure what happened. Let me click and then click it back on and see if that fixed it.
How's that?
Yeah. Oh no, boy, we're missing your audio. Oh wait, maybe that's just on my end. Let me try this. Yeah, if you could say something for me, Jim.
Yep. How's that?
Okay, the audio is back. I'm not sure
Okay.
why that did that, but we're back in business here. Yeah, Jim is here. He's got some things he wants to show us. Yeah, take it away, Jim. I'm going to hand it over to you if you want to switch that camera around. And then while you're switching the camera, I'm going to ask people to comment on what Jim is showing us. If you have comments or questions, yeah, just ask away and he'll be happy to answer questions for you. Here we go.
How's that?
That's perfect.
Okay.
I love that mini. That's really cool.
Yeah, we had that on last time, but it sits in my garage because I like to take it out and mess around a little bit. So this
Nice.
is just the ones that haven't seen it, just a little homemade. It's actually a Murray Track 2 mini bike. Took the tracks off on a little cedar snowblower and attached it to the rear of the frame of the mini bike. And then I got a ski off on a 67 Bombardier and shortened it up. We stuck it on. It's fun to take and just zoom around the shows, when we have them. It don't get out in the powder much, but it sure is fun driving around the parking lot of shows.
Yeah, I'll bet it is. I bet that'll do some good donuts too. Can you do donuts on that?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
Nice.
little, it's always a work in progress, but it's fun. It's fun.
Wonderful.
So we'll move on to the within the collection here. This is the 1970 Alpine. It's a 399. We have 4 of these, and from 67 to 70. The 68 is the only one that really is not running. It's got a 399 motor in it as well, and it's stuck.
Yep.
Haven't really had time to play with it. The other ones are single cylinders. They're a tank, but they're a lot of fun just to go play with. So where there's not much snow out there right now, I thought it'd be fun to bring the Alpine out and just play around the fields and stuff with. Like the old song, it takes 40 acres to turn it around, but it's just a joy to ride and have fun with. This one has reverse. It's in pretty good shape for the year of it. Electric start.
Nice.
So,
I remember seeing those back
that's
in the day.
pretty
Those were what would tow the groomers back in the early days of trail riding, at least in my experience of it.
yes. Yeah, and it runs real well.
Nice.
So, I'm going to the fishing derby at Long Lake this weekend, and I'm thinking about loading this up and taking it to the lake with me, and just go out and hang out and drive around and watch people fish and talk to people. And not much of a fisherman myself, but I do enjoy going up and hanging out with people and bringing stuff like this to talk about.
Nice. I would imagine that would be a real conversation starter, having that out there with the ice fishing.
It's amazing how many people will come up and want to stop and talk to you.
Nice. Now, the people that see it, do they know what it is, or are they, what the heck is that?
Some people do. Some do. Most are kind of, they look at it and can't quite figure it out, and especially the younger ones. But a lot of the people that are up there fishing, they've seen them before somewhere. Maybe have never seen one in person, but especially this old. I know that there are 2 guys at the lake right now that are fishing, and they got like a 1984 and 85, I think is what they have, Alpines.
Right.
They're up from downstate somewhere fishing, and that's what they brought up. So I'm kind of anxious to meet them.
Yeah, for sure. And you're right. I mean, back in the day, it was a common sight to see these, but today it's not something you see.
No. No.
Yeah, so it's got to be a real eye catcher, I would think.
Yeah.
And I think Jack Ulch, who's, I don't know if you can see on the lower left of the screen there, he says it best. He says he wants it.
Yeah. Usually when people see them, especially when we hook the ski boost up to it, and you haul it along with this and have the ski boost hook behind it, it really makes a show.
Nice. And Jack Ulch is also asking, is that a 640cc in there?
This is a 399 version.
399. Nice.
Yeah. I think the 68. I'm not sure if that was an original 640, but it has a 399 motor in it right now. But haven't really had time to pull that motor and do anything with it. And then the other ones are all single cylinders.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Now with those single cylinders, do you find it's enough power to move a machine like that, or does it work for it?
It works hard, but it does the trick. I've never really had it out the single cylinder ones out in the powder, and I don't really dare to take this out in the powder either because I don't want to get stuck. But you do a little vintage trail riding, or you go out like now when you've got 6-8 inches of snow and ride around, and it works real well. But they always used to take these things out and break trail with them. So
yeah,
they just I don't feel like getting stuck.
Yeah, no doubt. That would be a beast to try to get unstuck, especially if you're by yourself.
Yeah. So one of the other things that I've got that I just kind of brought in, and I'm trying to decide what I'm doing with it, and I've asked for some help online and got quite a bit of help. I knew that this machine that you're seeing here, the yellow, I knew that it's a black dot chassis, 1970.
Yeah.
And in 1970, they made two versions, which was a 340 and a 340 and a 292. So I really, without a tag on this, I didn't know exactly what it was. And with some help from some friends around the vintage snowmobile world, basically looking at the double roll chain and the 16 tooth sprocket on the front tells them that it's a 340 black dot chassis. So nice. I've got most everything to build this 340 black dot, and so I brought it up with the rest of them and said it's time to see what I can do with it, get it cleaned up, and maybe start restoring it.
Wonderful. So this is your next project.
That's it. Well, it's one of them. Yes.
Good deal.
We did talk about that screw last time I was on. That's still sitting here. I'm waiting for the motor to. I got a buddy of mine that's trying to get the motor cleaned up and get it firing and running right. It's a 1971, I believe. I'm not familiar really with the screw rules, but as I mentioned last time, it's kind of a Johnny Cash sled. It's got a single cylinder sled and a 440 chassis and a 300. It's a slide suspension, but just something that we were putting together for a buddy of mine so he could have something that his grandparents used to have. Nice.
And these are all parts, according to the song, that have been snuck out in a lunchbox, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Nice.
A lot of time. So I don't know if there's any questions before I move on to the next one.
Yeah, definitely. To the viewers, if you have questions at this point for Jim, by all means, post them. And yeah, he's going to show us a few things while we're waiting for some questions to come in.
Just a few motors. So we talked about this last time. It's a 72 Kitty Cat.
Yeah.
Really good shape. Waiting in the wings for my granddaughter. She's only 18 months old, so it's going to take a little bit before she can get on it, but I can't wait.
She's got that waiting for her.
Yeah.
Now, if you could go back a little, was that a purple mini bike? Was that one of those old Arctic Cat mini bikes?
This one's not an Arctic Cat. I've been looking for one because I want to get one for my kitty cat.
Yeah.
This is just a little. I can't even remember now what the name brand of these two mini bikes are. But they're the old schools. They're from 1970.
Yeah.
I built this one for my daughter when she was like 3 years old. She's 28 now. And last summer, I built this one for my granddaughter. And like I said, she's just over 18 months old now. So just figure I'd hang them in the rafters until she's ready for the toys.
Very nice. Yeah, she's got a nice childhood waiting for her.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun times.
So the last thing I got to show you, we'll move on here, is I had my father's 797 Blizzard. This is a 1971 Skidoo Blizzard. There was 170, I should have looked before, but 170 some made of these sleds. They were just built for racing. He bought this sled brand new in 71. I guess from what I understand, the rough cost of these sleds are around $2,500.
Wow.
For this machine back then, so that was quite a bit of cash. Sat down in our farm here in disrepair for a long time, and till Rob and Leo Kiefer from Caribou come along, and they grabbed it up, they took it over, and they restored the whole thing, and now she's all back to, maybe not brand new, but it's pretty close. I think it's probably 90% original. Had to have a new track put on it, and we can only find, I think, one exhaust pipe at the time when we pulled all the parts together. And so they had brand new exhaust bill, the motor totally redone, and brand new seat built. So this is his. This is my father bought this sled originally, and he's 91 years old now. And this thing right here, if I was gonna, I really love the 1970 Olympics, but this thing here is right. It tugs at my heartstrings.
Yeah, for sure.
Love this machine.
And I bet your father likes to see that as well. That must bring back a lot of memories for him.
He does, and he's always been really good with mechanics of these things, and he can take this thing and tweak it and make it just sing. It's really it's amazing how he can sit down with this machine and just with a screwdriver and do a little tinkering before you know it, the thing is running like a top.
That's amazing. Now, speaking of which, Dick Kafez is watching, and he'd like to know if you could fire that up.
I can fire that up. I think I can fire it up. I'll set the phone down, and as long as I don't make a mistake and flood it.
Okay, sure.
I'll get it fired up here. But let me see if I can set my phone down so they can see it.
Sure.
Let's see here. I'll pick it back up once I get it running, but I hope the phone don't fall.
That's all right if it does. We'll understand. We'll be waiting for you.
All right. We'll give her a little airplane fuel. Now if I can hear again.
Yeah, I bet that's loud in that room. I love that crackle though. That sounds amazing.
It's an amazing machine. It's I can't imagine how they raced these back in the day, but yeah, they all did. Tom Peters will be able to tell you all about that.
Yes, in fact, he left a comment. I don't know if you can see it or not. He's saying he remembers racing against that.
Yeah. They were all good friends and raced good together.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, and Tom Peters also says he remembers it well, and to say hi to your dad. He must remember your dad as well.
Yes, he knows my dad well. Yeah.
Nice. And then one comment from earlier too. It's out of sight now, but Jack Ulch was asking where in Maine that you're located.
I'm located in northern Maine in Limestone.
Northern, okay. Limestone,
Yeah.
okay. And then Jack also mentioned those mini bikes, those purple mini bikes. He's thinking they might be Rupp mini bikes.
No, I've always wanted to find a Rupp, but they're not. I know they're not Rupps because I have a good friend that has a Rupp collection, and they're not Rupps, but they're. I think the pink one is more like a Sears bought bike.
Yeah.
And I thought the purple one at first when I got it because of the lay down handlebars was an Indian, little Indian, I guess they called them. But I found out that wasn't it, and somebody told me what the name it was. I just can't remember what it was.
Sure. Well, that's all right.
Yeah. And I have a third one that I built this summer. I actually have it on a stool in my office. I had it painted green and did a lot of work to the motor. It's souped up and it'll run about 45, 50 miles an hour with me on it.
Wow. Yeah. That's pretty darn quick.
So it'll roll right along.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's impressive. Now, I know this is getting off topic a little bit, but I keep catching a glimpse of a Chevy pickup back there. I wonder if you could just give us a quick look at that.
So I got this, I don't know, 4 or 5 years back. It's a 1987 short box, 4-wheel drive Chevy pickup. Had a plow on it when I bought it. And I bought it and said, I'm going to use that to plow with, even though I had a truck with a plow on it. The price was right.
Sure.
And I brought it home and I played around with it. I got to looking at it and I'm like, this thing's worth a lot of money if I fix it up. And so again, I always think about my granddaughter and I'm like, so I brought it in the garage and I've started buying parts